Welcome back to Blender, everyone. I am your host, the Housecoat Gamer. Today, we're taking a look at some of my latest creations, though in the case of some of them, they might be a couple weeks old. As well as vid, because for some reason YouTube is being a little dumb when it comes to the uploads. In case you're curious, well, I can't even upload a thumbnail at the moment, so this vid's gonna have to wait a little. So as you can see here, I have created the glory that is the Columbia class. Yes, I know, I haven't put in the little grills here, and the photon torpedo launchers, and the phasers. That's not the point. That I can deal with another day. And really, that's just small detail work that'll take about half an hour at most. Point is, I've built the boat. And while she is not a perfect clone, I like to think I've done my best with her. The same cannot be said for the next starship, which happens to be, well, a ship that I really want an STO. The Missouri class. I've gone into a lot of creative liberties here, taking inspiration from, well, other versions of boat. Such as the one from Klingon Academy 2, with large cutouts and large numbers of torpedo tubes. Though, if I'm perfectly honest, I think I might have oversized them a little bit, but well, this is a 600-meter long boat, roughly. But yeah, the torpedo tubes aren't the real attraction. It's what I placed on the hull. You see those little Lego bricks of doom? Those are octuple phaser batteries. And there are a grand total of 10 underneath, 5, 15, 17, 19, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So, let's crack out our calculators and ask ourselves how many phasers that is. How many phaser beams? 19 times 8. 152 phaser beams. So, the saucer section alone has as much firepower as a Constitution-class heavy cruiser. Sucks to be anything that goes up against this thing that isn't a battleship. And from one of the biggest, we go to one of the smallest. Yet another starship I managed to clone, this thing being a creation of E.C. Henry, much like her half-sister, the Columbia class. The Aurora, a reskin of the Nova, done in the TMP style, which was very surprising, and yeah, I didn't have to do very much for this thing when it came to the nacelles. The pylons were a pain, as was the secondary hull. Oh, who am I kidding? Outside the nacelles and the bridge module, which, by the way, is just a barely modified version of the one from the Columbia. This was a complete pain. Oh, I suppose I should return to this and go tell you where the, what these sections are. These two things are impulse engines. Big, powerful, thrust-inducing impulse engines. Pushing this thing along at a quarter of the speed of light, and this thing is not an impulse engine, it is in fact a shuttle bay. Rather token for a shuttle bay, but it'll do. And finally, that brings us to probably my latest, and I'm not going to call it the greatest, it's probably middling at best. The Matsumoto class. Otherwise known as the legendary Akira. Now, I know it's not perfect. But then again, I'm very good at cloning the starships. There's just a few problems. Notably, what I have to work with. These are just screen caps from the game. If I had the actual model to work with and proper 90-degree face-on shots, I'd be able to replicate it a little better, but this'll have to do. And I probably made the torpedo tubes a little too big. I mean, just look at the bloody things. They're gigantic. But hey, could be worse. At least it's a good approximation, though the deflector dish may have some issues. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I did what I could. And once again, the Columbia came to the rescue because you might have noticed that's the same bridge module. The Constitution Bridge is not the same bridge as we see on the Columbia, yet 3 of my starships use the same bridge module. Were all 3 of these boats designed by E.C. Henry? Does he have a starship he just plops onto each bridge, into each module? Does he have a bridge that he just plops onto each of his boats? Either way, they are not perfect. They're pretty close approximations, and I did what I could to fully clone the things, but again, I am not perfect. Hopefully you'll be able to see these things the day I make the vid, but that entirely depends on the YouTube uploading thing. Somehow I doubt it's going to cooperate, but that's not my call. It is entirely YouTube's call. Regardless, I'll be taking advantage of STO today. Today is a grind day, for I must get dilithium and all that for Starship reviews. After all, I grind for my dilithium. Oh well. Hopefully you enjoy this particular little update to all my Starship modeling. No, they are not textured yet, but I will be putting these boats up for, well, use on my ModDB page. Yes, I model. Yes, I have a ModDB page. No, I haven't really used it in years. But hey, if anyone wants to use these things and put them to use in, say, Empire at War or Star Trek Bridge Commander, or hell, even Star Trek Armada, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Just give credit. I mean, I built the bloody things. Scale them appropriately and I won't care. Missouri's supposed to be freaking gigantic. Housecode Gaming, signing off.